Say your joke again.
Hi, this is Trump's America.
There you go.
I am Tim,
Hello, Tim.
and oh boy, all right. So we're gonna ignore whatever's going on in the present, and we're gonna have some fun because all the stuff that's happening now is depressing and sad. So this is Unbox Politics, and this is the
We do
Unbox
not
Politics
care.
Best and Worst Tournament.
I'm just kidding.
In a
And-
world where there's good and bad.
Just kidding. They're both bad. Ah, you dumbass. You thought you had choices. Ah, we got them.
So the rowdy voices that you hear behind me are my co-hosts.
Little old me.
What?
Why did everyone
We got
resize? Why did you guys resize? What's your
I didn't-
weird
didn't.
internet?
I didn't resize. I don't know.
Didn't change
I
nothing.
didn't do it. I
Oh,
didn't do
why
it.
did you guys' internet get inconsistent at that moment? Now you're a collage.
Why are you
Wow.
so
Internet is
inconsistent?
fantastic.
God, Ollie's just taking over now. Mark shrunk. Fucking.
I'm a good boy.
Yeah, you're a good boy. No, you shrunk. You shrunk.
Did I shrink?
Yeah, it's all right. I got it.
Oh,
You know
I
what it
thought I was
is?
a good
It's the
boy.
share screen.
Oh,
We got to do the share
Ew.
screen.
that's true. We got to do the share screen.
Share screen.
Hi, everyone.
Cheers.
Are we good now? All right. So these are my wonderful co-hosts, mostly wonderful co-hosts.
Of course we are.
Blah, blah, blah.
By mostly, I mean kind of wonderful.
Some kind of wonderful.
Yeah,
we got- Let's see. Top to bottom, we got Ollie. He's Canadian.
I play disc golf.
For now.
Sure. We got Mark. He's almost Canadian.
I'm just really white, Tim.
You're very close to Canada.
Oh,
Southern
and
Canada is what
location.
we call it.
And Mikey, who is kind of almost you're close to Canada too, aren't you? How long is the drive to
Actually,
Canada?
Like Canada land proper, I think it's just across Lake Michigan if you just go the right direction. So
That's true.
it's
So,
probably only like 400, 500 miles.
A to B.
Yeah.
It's not too
As
far.
the crow flies. Like,
as the crow
Yep.
flies.
Grow some
And-
wings there, Mikey.
And I am
I'll be right back.
Tim, and I am also close to Canada. What I'm
We do
saying
not care.
is that we need to get to Canada.
yeah.
We need
No, Tim. There's been a new thing
Oh.
circulating on the internet
Did you know this,
called the
Tim?
United States of Canada.
Yeah.
Basically,
Two
most of
states.
the western and eastern seaboards down to like not to the Carolinas, but not that far, and like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, all secede and join Canada as additional provinces.
But most of those states voted for Trump. We don't want you.
No, we didn't.
Those are
Some
all
of
the
them did.
states that didn't.
Ollie, my
Oh,
state
are they?
didn't.
Okay.
My
Okay.
state didn't.
I'm confused.
No, we're just saying the blue
But-
states get to be
The blue
included.
states are seceding,
Yeah.
enjoying a new Canadian Confederation.
Yep. Do it.
The CanCon.
The CanCon.
It would actually,
Ollie,
it would crush America's remaining economy in terms of scale.
Yeah.
Ollie, what I'm asking is how many of us can fit in your house?
I call couch.
If I, what?
Hold on, dude. They got bears. We gotta talk about this.
I don't have bears. I live on an island, dude. We don't
He
have
lives
anything.
on
bigger
Bears
than a
can
fox
swim,
here.
bro. Bears can swim.
We don't have anything
I have
bigger
more
than a
bears
fox
than
here,
Ollie.
dude.
Yeah, you don't have anything bigger than a fox because the bears ate it.
No, there's not. There's bears in the there's moose, deer. And
Oh shit!
bears
Hells
in
no.
the
That's worse.
mainland, like right across the strait from me, but they never come over here. So
Moose
All
are
right.
mean.
All right, first up.
All right, yeah. Here's how the tournament's going to go, gentlemen. We got the top four. This is going to be this week is going to be the best of. Number 1 seat, Jon Stewart. Number 2, Jim Cramer. Number 3, Olbermann, and number 4, AOC. So the first matchup is going to be AOC and Olbermann, and then we're going to
Oh.
do Cramer and Stewart.
So we're doing the 2 and the 4 seed.
you're no, he's doing 1-2 against 3, 1 versus 2 and 3 versus 4.
Yes,
Okay, that's
Yes.
that's weird.
That's a
but
tough
okay.
bracket.
Let's do it.
it's a tough bracket.
Yeah.
So
Are we
there's
watching the same clips, Tim, or new ones?
No.
They
New
are
ones.
50-50. It's 50-50 because what I
Okay.
did was I found the most popular clips of each person on YouTube that wasn't like their show that we would get content strike for, and that's the videos we're watching.
Damn you, Comedy
Um,
Central.
There's no rating. It's a pass fail. So we're gonna watch both videos and then we're gonna determine who is the best.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one passed? Which one
Nothing's
failed?
ever gonna keep it down.
I'm gonna give her a pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't. Overman doesn't even have to go.
No.
month did you personally first become aware of Cambridge Analytica?
Oh, and this is Zuckerberg testifying in front of, I forget the name of this committee. Do you remember the name of the committee?
I think we did watch this video though, right?
Yeah. But
think
what's
so.
the name of the committee? Jesus, that's what I need.
I don't know which committee.
But they were making. It was about.
Something oversight.
Yeah. It's to. I'm just describing the clip so that people don't see these. This is out of nowhere. This is from 2019, and he had. Was it the election stuff or the Russia stuff? They had
Cambridge Analytica. It was election stuff.
election stuff. There you go. Good talk, robot man.
I'm not sure of the exact time, but it was probably around the time when it became public. I think it was around March of 2018. I could be wrong though.
When did
So-
Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg become aware of Cambridge Analytica?
I don't know off the top of my
You
head.
don't know?
I don't
Did
know.
anyone on your leadership team know about Cambridge Analytica prior to the initial report by The Guardian on December 11th, 2015?
Congresswoman, I believe so, and that some folks were tracking it internally.
Did Zuckerberg get a rating?
He's not data. He's lore. He's the evil one. So
No, dude, he's Fable.
he's Fable.
And
I actually, as you're asking this,
Unfortunately, since the bar is so low for the worst, like Zuckerberg is like not even close to the worst.
Yeah, he wouldn't even
He's
show up
not
on the
even-
radar.
Nah.
He's a mannequin.
But this is all about AOC attacking him. So
We don't count
I
AI
do think
bots.
I was aware of Cambridge
AIs
Analytica
don't
as an
count. They're
entity
not real
earlier.
people.
I don't know if I was tracking how they were using Facebook specifically.
when was the issue discussed with your board member, Peter Thiel?
Congresswoman, I don't know.
You don't know, this was the largest data scandal with respect to your company that had catastrophic impacts on the 2016 election. You don't know?
Well, Congresswoman, I'm sure we discussed it after we were aware of what happened.
Okay. You announced recently that the official policy of Facebook now allows politicians to pay to spread disinformation in 2020 elections and in the future. So I just want to know how far I can push this in the next year. Under your policy, using census data as well, could I pay to target predominantly black zip codes and advertise them the incorrect election date?
Yes.
No, Congresswoman, you couldn't. We have, even for these policies around the newsworthiness of content that politicians say and the general principle that I believe that
But you said you're not going to fact check my ads.
we have, if anyone, including a politician, is saying things that can cause, that is calling for violence or could risk imminent physical harm or voter or census suppression when we roll out the census suppression policy, we will take that content down.
So you will, there is some threshold where you will fact check political advertisements. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, Congresswoman, yes, for specific things like that, where there's imminent risk of harm.
Could I
Can I
run
say yes
ads
and no?
targeting Republicans in primaries saying that they voted for the Green New Deal?
Yes.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Would I be able to run advertisements on Facebook targeting Republicans in primaries saying that they voted for the Green New Deal? I mean, if you're not fact checking political advertisements, I'm just trying to understand the bounds here. What's fair
Congresswoman,
game?
I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head.
You
Probably.
don't know if I'll be able to do that. Do you see a potential problem here with a complete lack of fact checking on political advertisements?
Well, Congresswoman, I think lying is bad, and I think if you were to run an ad that had a lie, that would be bad. That's different from it being,
if you're not fact checking, you're not going to correct the lie.
in
Yeah,
our
plenty of things
position,
are bad and
the
wrong.
right thing to do to prevent your constituents or people
That's
in an
all.
election
There's
from
plenty of things
seeing
that's
that
bad
you
and
have
wrong, but
lost.
it doesn't make them fascist.
There you go.
So you won't take down lies, or you will take down lies? I think it's just a pretty simple yes or no.
Congresswoman,
I'm not talking about spin. I'm talking about actual
yes, in most cases, in a
disinformation.
democracy, I
Okay.
believe that people should be able to see for themselves what politicians that they may or may not vote for
So
are
you
saying,
won't take
judge
them
their
down.
character for themselves.
So you won't take, you may flag that it's wrong, but you won't take it down.
Congresswoman, it depends on the context that it shows up. Organic
I
Post
know nothing.
adds little
One more question. In your ongoing dinner parties with far-right figures, some of who advance the conspiracy theory that white supremacy is a hoax, did you discuss so-called social media bias against conservatives, and do you believe there is a bias?
Congresswoman, so I don't remember everything that was in the question.
That's all right, I'll move on. Can you explain why you've named the Daily Caller, a publication well-documented with ties to white supremacists, as an official fact-checker for Facebook?
Congresswoman, sure. We actually don't appoint the independent fact checkers. They go through an independent organization called the Independent Fact Checking Network that has a rigorous
Got you
standard
there,
for who they
Congresswoman.
allow
I
to,
delegated that away
to serve as
already.
a fact checker.
So you would say that white supremacist-tied publications meet a rigorous standard for fact-checking?
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Congresswoman, I would say that we're not the one assessing that
He
standard. The
completely reset
International
there.
Fact Checking Network is the one who is setting that standard.
That was almost like an Elon reset that he did there.
Yeah.
He completely reset. It was like, uh-oh, recalculating.
Offer
Error.
me riches.
Error.
Thank you.
Offer me money.
Congresswoman, I would say that we're not the one assessing.
You killed my
shit.
father.
So that was video number 1. That was AOC. I believe we have seen that video before.
I think so.
I think we used it to judge Zuckerberg and not AOC maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
we screwed up big time that day. That was
Yeah.
like the 3rd episode.
But I you know, we'll watch the next video and then we'll debate who won. Oh man, super old Keith Olbermann.
Abraham Lincoln did not shoot John Wilkes Booth. Titanic did not sink a North Atlantic iceberg. And Fox News is neither fair nor balanced. These are simple historical facts intelligible to all adults, most children,
240p. My
and
bad,
some of
y'all.
your more discerning domesticated animals. But not, as the 3rd story on the countdown proves yet again, not to billow.
Countdown presents Fact or Fiction, wherein
All right, we're getting.
Stewie? What the
All right,
fuck?
this is very produced. I don't know. I mean, MSNBC shouldn't come
Yeah.
after us for this old thing, but
we catch that
It's-
bastard
it's
Bill
like
O'Reilly lying again.
2004.
Oh wait, Bill, hold still. Allow me to soil myself on you. Victory is mine!
The guilty pleasure offered by the existence of Bill O'Reilly is simple and understandable. 99 times out of 100 when we belly up to the Bill Bar of bluster. Nearly every time we partake of the movable falafel
times
feast,
fast,
he
do
serves us nothing but
Yeah,
comedy.
well,
Farce,
one and a half.
slapstick, unconscious self-mutilation, the sideshow Bob of commentators forever stepping on the same rake, forever muttering the same grunt of inarticulate surrender, forever resuming the circle that will take him back to the same rake.
Bill O'Reilly.
The Sisyphus of morons, if you will. But this is the 100th time out of 100.
he
It
is
not funny at
roasting
all.
him.
Bill O'Reilly has, for the 2nd time in just under 8 months, slandered at least 84 dead American servicemen. He has turned them, again, from victims of the kind of atrocity our country has always fought against into perpetrators of that kind of atrocity. He has made these Americans into war criminals. They are dead and have been dead for 61 years. They cannot defend themselves against O'Reilly. We will have to do it for them. Last October, Bill O'Reilly railed against a ruling that more photos from the
What is
infamous
that?
Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq might be
Oh.
released. His guest on his program was Wesley Clark. Clark is a retired 4-star general, was for 4 years Supreme Allied Commander of NATO in Europe. First in his class at West Point, wounded in Vietnam, earned the Bronze Star, the Silver Star, and has streets named for him in Alabama and in Kosovo. Therefore, naturally,
Kosovo.
O'Reilly knows much more about the military than General Clark does. Clark defended the release of the additional Abu Ghraib photos, saying we needed to know what happened and to correct it. O'Reilly lectured him and concluded that there had always been atrocities, even by Americans, in war.
chain of command. You need to look at the Malmedy massacre in World War II in the 82nd Airborne.
It was a remarkable mistake. The Belgian town of Malmedy did lend its name to one of the most appalling battlefield war crimes of the 20th century. But O'Reilly's implication that the Americans committed it was entirely backwards. Americans, most of them members of Battery B of the 285th Field Artillery Observation Battalion, surrendered to
Bro
German
went straight to the
panzer troops
Britannica
and were
to
then
get all his
shot by
facts.
their captors
Yeah, right?
from the
Damn.
SS. Yet O'Reilly had implied that the Americans had massacred these Germans in this one stark moment of the Battle of the Bulge. And he used this Alice through the looking-glass view of history to somehow rationalize Abu Ghraib
Anyone know their
while
Battle of the
trying
Bulge
to dress
history?
down a four-star American general. Still, it could have been a
What do you
mistake.
wanna know,
We make
Tim?
them, even historians do.
I'll
Talk
say,
about it
O'Reilly
after.
had not
I'm gonna say
explicitly
all these
called
nerds.
the Americans the war criminals of Malmedy. Our troops, too, were accused of crimes against prisoners in the Second World War. It was assumed last year he had simply made a foolish error, and though he got beaten up appropriately in some places, it was all largely dismissed as merely that, a mistake. Then came this Tuesday night. Again, O'Reilly's guest was General Wes Clark. This time the topic was the apparent murder of Iraqi civilians at Haditha. That O'Reilly was dismissive of that event should be no surprise. That he should have described as the real crime of Iraq the events of Abu Ghraib should be no surprise to those who know of his willingness to jettison his most important beliefs of yesterday for the expediencies and the ratings of today. But that he should have brought up Malmedy again, that was a surprise.
In Malmedy, as you know, U.S. forces captured SS forces who had their hands in the air and they were unarmed and they shot them down. You know that. That's on the record, been documented.
Thus was the full depth of Bill
Been
O'Reilly's
documented.
insult to the American
Yeah.
dead of World War II made clear. The mistake of last October was not some innocent slip nor misremembered
up, Beck?
history. This was the way O'Reilly understood it, and thus this way it had to be. No errors corrected, no apologies offered, no stopping the relentless tide of bull, even briefly enough to check one fact. The facts of Malmedy are terrifying, as described by Michael Reynolds in his painstakingly detailed article from a 2003 issue of World War II magazine. 1 week before Christmas 1944, 139 U.S. soldiers, most of them from the 285th Field Artillery, encountered the German Kampfgruppe Piper, the leading formation of the German 1st SS Panzer Division, one of only 2 German units in the entire war which actually carried Adolf Hitler's name. The Americans were overrun. 11 of the 139 soldiers were killed in the very short Battle of Malmedy. 2 more were killed as they tried to flee. 7 escaped. 6 became prisoners of war. The other 113 Americans, nearly all of whom had surrendered outright, were ordered to assemble in an open field next to a restaurant, the Café Bodarway. What happened next has been attributed to many things. A cold-blooded decision by that Panzer unit commander, Colonel Joachim Piper, that he could not handle the prisoners, or an unjustifiable overreaction to some kind of escape attempt, or simply horrible mass
Damn,
murder.
Bill O'Reilly fucked up
Within
hard.
15 minutes, the
Yeah.
SS colonel or someone directly under him had ordered his men
Yeah,
to
I
shoot
don't know what he
the
read,
unarmed
but-
American POW. The bodies
Like,
at Malmedy were not found until
he
a
fucked
month
up on
later.
some serious stuff
There were
here.
84 of them,
Yeah.
all American soldiers. More than half showed gunshot wounds.
Did you know America
to their
attacked
heads.
Japan at Pearl Harbor?
6 had received fatal blows to the head. 9 were found with their arms
Yep.
still raised above their heads.
All right, Bill, calm down a little bit.
The fact that O'Reilly got these horrible facts completely backwards, twice, offended even his usually compliant viewers from his program Wednesday night.
Don Caldwell, Fort Worth, Texas. Bill, you mentioned Malmedy as the site of an American massacre during World War II. Was the other way around. The SS shot down U.S. prisoners. In the heat of the debate with General Clark, my statement wasn't clear enough, Mr. Caldwell. After Malmedy, some German captives were executed by American troops.
Sure, Bill.
That's
not what you-
Oh
No, that's not what you
my
said.
God.
That is not what he said at all.
Wrong answer. When you are that wrong,
Yeah.
when you are
Wait,
defending
wait, wait. I gotta get the wrong answer at full volume.
American troops.
Wrong answer. When you are that wrong,
Ooh, that's
when you
gotta
are
be a
defending
clip.
Nazi
That's
war
gotta be
criminals and pinning
Yeah.
Soundboard. That is a good submission. You're right.
Wrong answer.
After Malmedy, some German captives were executed by American troops.
Wrong answer. When you are that wrong, when you are defending Nazi war criminals and pinning their crimes on Americans and you get caught doing so twice, you're supposed to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and then you're supposed to shut up for a long time. Instead, Fox washed its transcript of O'Reilly's remarks Tuesday. Its website claims O'Reilly said in Normandy, when, as you heard, in fact, he said
They
in
changed the
Malmedy,
transcript. That's
the
fucked up.
rewriting of past reporting worthy of George Orwell has now carried over into such online transcription services as Burrell's
Oh, that
and
is the
Factiva.
old internet.
Damn, bro, he
Whatever
called you
did or did not
Orwellian.
happen later in supposed or actual retribution. The victims at Malmedy were Americans, gunned down while surrendering by Nazis in
Hi, Neil.
1944, and
Neil.
again Tuesday night and Wednesday night by a false patriot who would rather be loud than right. In Malmedy,
dude.
as you know, Bill O'Reilly
Is he
said
talking
on the
about
air
Trump? I
Tuesday
feel like
night in
he's
some
talking about
indecipherable attempt to defend the
This
events
is
of
like 10
Aditha.
years before Trump
U.S.
was
forces
political anyway.
Yeah.
captured SS
I
forces
know, but
who had their
still.
hands in the air and were unarmed, and they shot them dead. You know that. That's on the record and documented. The
Documented.
victims at Malmedy
Yeah.
in December
Documented.
1944 were Americans. Americans
Doc and
with
lock.
their hands in the air. Americans who were unarmed. That's on the record and documented. And their memory deserves better than Bill O'Reilly. We all do.
Woo!
Damn.
Before we
guy.
compare these videos,
You're supposed to say
You're
I
supposed
just
to
gotta say, the two videos are so different. This was an awesome video, but it was so pre-prepared and everything.
He's
where
a-
the other one
he's a
was an
great writer.
awesome conversation. That's you gave us a hard job to judge
I
between these
did.
two. Tim.
I did.
A really hard job.
I think Tim should be docked 5 points. 5 points from Hufflepuff.
5 points from Hufflepuff. Why
Tim,
am I
are you a Hufflepuff? Did you take the
No.
quiz?
Hell
No,
yeah,
I
he's a
didn't take the
Hufflepuff.
quiz. I didn't take the quiz. What quiz?
I'm a Ravenclaw, obviously.
I'm a Slytherin. Deal with it.
I don't know what any of that means, man.
Okay, I'm a
You
Ravenclaw. I took
slither
the
in
test online.
to her Hufflepuff.
Have you guys ever taken the test online? Do you
Yeah.
know for sure what house you're in?
What is it? 2004?
I was about to say, dude, I'm of that. That's my generation. What are you talking about, dog? I've been repping my clan for ages, baby.
All right, so who won?
Who won? Oh,
Yeah,
you're
who
just
won?
going to want to ask right now
just-
who won without even talking about
so-
what
I
they said.
mean,
So
this is the conversation we're supposed to have.
So I'm thinking, like, because we have to put this in context, in some context, like the context of like when it came out, like
Right. right.
like Bill O'Reilly was like king of the shit pile,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Overman didn't give a fuck, like he still went for him.
Oh yeah,
He
no.
went for his
He
chin.
lined him up in the right in the sights and just
He went straight for
So-
the chin. No, nothing. Walk up, punch. I like it. I like it. But then you got to remember, like, the Cambridge Analytica shit. No,
AOC had
everyone
some
was
really
everyone was kind of like, what does this mean? Does a browser mean this? Like, everyone was being
Yeah.
stupid during that the whole hearing. They're all asking patty cake questions and were asking dumb shit because they didn't understand the internet. And then she just fucking laid into him. So like now that we're here, it was like, yeah, tell him those things. But she was the only one saying that day.
yeah,
Well,
she
and-
was. You're
And
right.
the through line for these two videos, if you want to make that argument, is that you're right. Olbermann was going after Bill O'Reilly, who at the time was the most popular anchor on the most popular news network
Yeah.
in
He's
the
still
world.
a trash person too.
Yeah.
So.
Zuckerberg, on the other hand, in 2016, 2017, whenever this video came out,
19. I think it was
19.
19.
you know, that dude thought he was fucking untouchable too. He
Yeah.
went up there and was like, I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
but she was setting mental traps for him where she was trying to catch him in the, well, which is it? Like, do you want people to lie on your platform, or do you not want them to lie on your platform? Which
Right.
is it?
Yeah, because he is Mark. Like, we make fun of him, but dude's like how many times over billionaire?
Right.
You
He's
know?
pretty damn smart.
A couple billion,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
So
So-
this is both of these videos are cases of less powerful people going after more powerful people. Like AOC is just a congresswoman. Mark Zuckerberg runs at the time probably this biggest social media
Yeah.
website in the world. and Bill O'Reilly made the most money at Fox News, and Keith Olbermann was probably running second or third at MSNBC. So it's definitely
punch
the
up.
through line. Yeah, it's definitely a punch up. They're both punching up.
Oh yeah.
Olbermann happens to write his own stuff, and I'm sure AOC wrote her own stuff too.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So next 2 videos.
Oh, we
No,
got to
have
pick which one
We
wins.
didn't pick. We got to pick one.
We got to pick
I was
one.
trying to avoid the picking.
Yeah, we got.
What happens if we tie?
Because you
What
did
happens
that,
if we
Mikey has
tie?
to pick first.
Hell no.
Yep.
I don't know. What do we do in case of a tie?
I
Flip a
think-
coin?
I mean, call me crazy here, but we're the panel. You're the host,
Oh, that's true.
and then maybe you tie break. But I don't see
I'll
how
tie.
that could
I'll
happen.
tie break. I'll tie break.
That can't
so
happen.
your vote's worth 2 is what you're saying. Gotcha.
I'll tie break. Who wants to go first?
Mikey does.
No.
I heard he doesn't.
I'll go first. The Oberman video, I hadn't seen that before, and I got to say I was super impressed with everything he said. The way he came off was just the right level of aggressive to make me happy. You know what I'm saying? It was just enough. He didn't go step over the line and be overly rude or anything like that. He was just like, I'm pointing out just how much of a dick you are. I'm not going to come right out and say it. I'm just going to make it obvious for everybody that's listening from my tone of voice that you are in fact a dick, Bill O'Reilly. That's the way he was coming
Yeah.
across the whole time.
Like,
you know, It's
like instead of
it was-
name calling him, he just repeated how wrong he was about
Yeah.
You are
something.
made of garbage. You are a garbage person.
You should
Go
know.
die in a pile of garbage.
You should know what it is if you researched it one time.
Right? Yeah. He's like,
to
you're
point out
just.
something so blatant.
And I do like how he made
Wrong
the point
answer.
of like Bill O'Reilly wasn't just wrong the one time. You could write off the one time maybe he misspoke, but then he said it again like an idiot.
Yep.
And they tried to change the transcript to say he said something else, but
Yeah,
you can clearly hear him say the thing.
he got in his head. He got in his head.
So
They had to go back and change it. He got in his head.
so I'm gonna go
All right.
vote for Oberman.
That's
where
that's one vote for Olbermann.
I'm at. Yeah.
I'll go next. I'm gonna go AOC. I think AOC just strung a web of fucking mental traps for Zuckerberg just to like I don't know his way through, and she made this very smart man look like an idiot. He looked like he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
He got
He
very
looked like
red.
he didn't know what his policies were. He had a reboot. Like
That reboot was great. Yeah.
He had to refresh the
She-
page.
she is very good, regardless of like what you think of AOC as a politician. She is very good at doing this sort of committee style. You got 5 minutes to answer my questions, so I'm gonna ream you with them. Like you don't have to answer me, but if you don't answer me, you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Keith Olbermann, I think AOC just ruined Mark Zuckerberg. Like he didn't have
he
anything
did.
except I don't know.
Yeah. For me, just Zuckerberg being in the video put that video down overall. But I shouldn't be judging AOC on it.
It's not her fault.
Not her fault. No.
So it's 1-1.
It's not her fault. Fable's on the screen. All right. I will give it to. I think I'm gonna give it to AOC too, just because this was like right after, and everybody just let him go up there and be stupid, or showed off how dumb they were, and
Yeah.
for her to be like the idiot millennial girl who just dances around, she was the only one that held the biggest like CEO at the time, especially in like that sphere, to account, and made him look like an asshole, and probably put some shit in the back of his head so we won't have to deal with that shit no more. So she probably saved us a lot of grief by embarrassing him like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Olbermann's was awesome because he's awesome. Awesome at writing that shit. Talented writer.
Yeah. And a really good like presenter. Like
Yeah.
he's really good at presenting the things that he writes.
He reminds me of like a radio guy that has
Yes.
made the adjustment to the TV
Yeah.
world. Like I could
Yep.
see him on like with the old style microphone and
Dude.
like the do. This is a new update coming in from
Yeah.
the front. Like he's that guy.
And Jackie Robinson hit out to center.
Well, one of my favorite ones was the guy that used to tell the stories, and that's the way it was. You know?
This news bulletin brought to you by our friends at Dr. Pepper.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, even back then. So he crushed it, you know, but still. He probably helped the end of Bill O'Reilly, but she might like have helped stop the like COVID bad information and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But you know what I mean? Like that going off on might have actually done some good.
Yeah, I mean, Bill O'Reilly was gonna implode at some point, no matter what. Like he
Correct.
obviously did.
Yeah.
Hey PC,
Like-
hey Progress Only.
PC?
Mark.
So Tim tie breaks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then it doesn't matter what I pick because AOC would win.
Well, here's how it would go. The tiebreak. You
We'll give it to
give
the
me,
chat.
like-
We'll give it to the chat.
Yeah, we'll give it to the chat. We'll let the chat tiebreak. How about that?
I don't know. I'm personally torn because I'm a big fan of history and World War II, and for
Ooh,
someone
yeah.
to fuck up that hard
Yeah.
multiple times on a very well-known World War II massacre,
I forgot
Yeah.
his history sensitivity.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
bitch.
His
Yeah.
history sense was
You just
tingling.
bitch slapped
He's
him
like,
over
"Oh,
and over
Oh
with that. but
hell no!
You're dumb. You're
Wait,
dumb.
wait.
You're still dumb.
goddamn button?
Yeah.
You heard what she said.
But I also agree that AOC's might have been more impactful in like stopping misinformation spread with like holding Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg accountable for his shit. Oh, that's rough.
Is that what we're judging, though? Just asking.
I don't know if
Well,
there's
I
any
gotta
rules.
judge the content with the person too. There,
I think we
So,
have to. I
like-
think we have to convince each other. So we're in a debate. We're not in you know,
Yeah.
whoever can make the best
well,
argument.
I didn't know it was allowed to debate.
That's what we've been doing.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
I-
Ollie, if you want to change your vote,
If you want to vote
I-
for AOC with us, it's cool.
I'm sorry, I'm not there yet. I agreed with everything you said, right? The AOC did lay the traps and got him to look stupid. And I also agree with what you said about the fact that she did this to him at that time
Yeah.
may have changed the way Facebook was being run just a bit to stop some information. I agree with that. All right. I just don't know if that's what we're judging. So that's
That's
not
what the
coming
video.
into
I mean, that's what the video is. I mean, if the
Well,
video
the
is
video is
historic,
how-
I mean, how can I help that, Ollie? That's not my fault.
to me, the video is how they're coming across and how they're presenting themselves, because that's what we've been doing the whole year that we've been voting on, is what they look like, the content of what they're
That
saying.
was regular season,
right?
though. That's regular
Right?
season, and that's what got them to
So-
the
but
finals.
the same overall context would apply even in the finale here.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
This is
Well,
playoff- this is
she had
playoff
some
ball.
really good zingers. She had some really good zingers. All right. They were zingers, and she laid good traps and got him to look foolish. I just think the content of the way it was presented and what Oberman presented is just that much. It was just there. It was.
So you staying with the history
Yeah, I am.
side there, Mark? You
I
staying
am.
with Ollie?
Well,
Yeah, I'm going with Keith Oberman on that.
so
So
All
it's
right,
the
So
chat.
the chat's gonna have to
The chat decides.
chat.
fix it.
1 for AOC and 2 for Oberman.
Oh,
Yeah. we got.
We'll give it a
Well,
couple
there's
minutes.
probably 2 or 3 of us there right now, so we're not going to vote.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
voting.
count votes from Ollie Man in the chat. Like I'm not.
Progress
Oh.
only says 1.
1 for the AOC.
We'll give it a couple. We'll give it a minute.
No way. No way. Did I make?
it tied again.
I think I made it.
I didn't see any. I'm not seeing any votes. I'm having a problem with my chat. Sorry.
So
I got 'em both
the
up.
Twitch chat. Progress only said 1. So if anyone else wants to vote,
Oh, can I make? I guess I can make a poll in the thing, huh?
can you make a poll on the thing?
I
Yeah,
can make
but
a poll.
you don't know who votes in that, so then we'd be able to. I would.
Well, we would
I won't.
assume we're not.
I was about to say,
cheating.
don't
Yeah,
cheat,
yeah,
man. I can't
yeah,
make
yeah.
it fucking cyber proof against us.
I will not.
Didn't know I had to do that.
I will go get my wife and get her on
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah, right.
She
You're
should
like,
be
How
on
many
here
fucking
anyway.
accounts you got? Let's get in here and vote.
Can you? Yeah, can you vote for me real quick?
She should
I'm
be in
gonna
here
call
anyway.
all my Xbox buddies and my college friends and be like, I need a favor.
I don't even know
Shit.
how to do that.
Me neither.
I'm not cool.
Uh,
I'm not cool like the kids.
I think Progress Only is the only vote, and he voted one,
I mean,
or they voted one.
we have a winner.
Trump wins.
Yeah. What? No, not Trump. He can't win again. He's already won. He can't win again.
He won more.
There's not going to be any more elections. guys.
Focus,
Just putting
please.
that out there.
Focus,
And
please.
So our winner of the first bracket is Keith Olbermann, right? Keith Olbermann was one, or was AOC one?
AOC was what? Tim.
AOC. All right, then AOC.
All right, Steve Harvey. Damn.
AOC wins. Olbermann's
AOC
knocked
wins
out.
round
Hey,
one.
voting counts. They
Voting,
didn't.
hey,
They didn't vote.
voting still matters on this show.
It does.
So these next two videos we have already seen. Unfortunately, they are the most popular videos for each person that isn't like their TV show. So, but they are like the best of the best.
They are.
So we got Jim Cramer having a mental breakdown and Jon Stewart just destroying Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. I love both.
I don't want to.
Two bangers.
I want to guess now, but I have a feeling we know who wins.
But it could change. It could change. You don't know.
I don't think so, Tim.
Everything sort of starts out down a little bit, but nothing to worry about.
I think this is
boring summer fight.
240p as
Almost,
well.
You know,
Right.
a day we
Yeah,
haven't had
this
in a
is
long
from
time.
2008.
Then all of a sudden S&P says, ooh, we're worried about
This was
Bear.
HD back then.
Yeah, this was
Bear
high
goes
definition.
Down, market goes down. And then all of a sudden things kind of calm down. Bear comes
I
out
don't
and says,
know.
hey,
This is
we're
still, like,
okay,
different.
guys, we're okay, everything's fine. Bear goes back up to neutral, market's only down 20.
Right.
Then Bear comes out and says, oh, worst bond market in 22 years.
Everyone remember Bear
That's where we are right
Stearns?
God, look at that chart.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Down, the market's down 100 points.
oh, it's down 100 and it's only fucking 230. Oh,
How do you trade this?
Remember the Bear Stearns? You got to adopt a Henry Ford attitude here, which is never explain, never complain. And they didn't do that. You keep your mouth shut during this period. You don't say a thing because you're going to
Oh,
say something that
geez.
people
That
don't
chart's
like.
even worse.
oh boy.
in the matter
Oh,
of
jeez.
2 days.
God, man.
Yeah, that's
And we
rough.
say, hey,
That's rough
dude,
for a company to do that.
Just think about millennials for a little bit sometimes, because this was us graduating from high school. I'm
yeah.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, gonna go out into the real world. What the?
You wanna buy a
fuck?
house?
What
Go-
the? What the
Going
hell
into
is this?
college, the
Yeah.
stock market's crashing. Oh well.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Come on, guys! You couldn't keep it running for like 10 more years until I got some. All right.
Come on, guys,
Keep your mouth
transparency.
shut
Come out
because
here and talk about your
You know,
exposure.
you speak softly and you wait to that level where you think the shorts have overdone the stock, and then you do what Dick Folt did in 1998. You pick up the phone to guys like me and you say, 32 bid, 1 million, and then you get whacked and you come back and say 31 bid for 2 million. They're not doing that. That inspires more fear. I don't want to create fear. I like Bear Stearns very much, but I think that at this stage, this is not a good call. They shouldn't have done it, and they should have just said, you know what, we're doing well, and don't say another thing. Just don't say it, because it does not inspire confidence to have 10 headlines coming over about what to do. I don't like it.
All right, I hear you. Now, I still, though, you know, when we said,
And
hey,
look,
let's
the
have...
Dow can rally.
So it said down there on the bottom that they refused to buy back their own stock.
Yeah. Because they knew it would be worthless.
Yeah.
We've seen the Dow
No, I
rally.
know. I'm not even, but I mean, it's just interesting, this bigger.
Well, this is about
Dow's
Bernanke.
down
This is about Bernanke.
13,000.
He has to be on that call. Forget
Is
the
that what that
investors.
said?
The investors are
No,
going
that said the Dow was at 13,000.
Oh, I was like, get the. I don't remember it being that bad.
Bernanke needs to
Is that
open the
possible?
discount window. That's how bad things are out there. Bernanke needs to focus on this. Alan Greenspan told everyone to take a teaser rate and then raise the rate 17 times. And Bernanke is being an academic. It is no time to be an academic. It is time to get on the Bear Stearns call. Listen, open the darn Fed window. He has no idea how bad it is out there. He has no idea. He has no idea. I have talked to the heads of almost every single one of these firms in the last 72 hours, and he has no idea what it's like out there. None! And Bill Poole has no idea what it's like out there.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I've been in this game for 25 years, and they are losing their jobs, and these firms are going to go out of business, and he's nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
Kramer.
Wow.
I have not seen it like this since I went 5 bid for 500,000 shares of Citigroup when I got hit in 1990. This is a different kind of market, and the Fed is asleep.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Bill Poole is a shame. He's shameful.
He's shameful.
Hold on. I know
He
you're
ought to go
passionate
and
about
read
this,
the
but hold on
accredited
for a
home
second.
document. At least I read the darn.
Wait a minute.
Be gone, foul demon.
Wow.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Bill Poole is a shame. He's shameful.
Hold on. I know
He
you're
ought to go
passionate
and read the
about this, but hold on
accredited
for a
home
second.
document. At least I read the darn thing.
Hold on, I know you're passionate, and I hear you, but at the same time, a lot of people are saying this is, yes, there's certain types of mortgages that aren't available. There are all
can't get
sorts
a
of
darn
issues.
loan
But
if
to
you're
go out
rich
and
like
say,
me.
But Kramer, if he did what you said, which seems to me from the way
Cut
you
the
just
darn
explained
discount window.
yourself.
Cut the rate. Open the discount window.
Okay,
Cut the
but
rate.
if he comes
Relieve
out
the
next
pressure.
week and cuts rates,
Relieve the pressure.
you're going to have, that's going to cause Armageddon.
No, we have Armageddon. I wouldn't try to cause this. We have Armageddon. In the fixed income markets, we have Armageddon.
No, but that's not what
We
they
have
say.
Armageddon.
They say, even when I've talked to a couple
If they
bank CEOs,
cut
they
the
don't say
rate-
it's Armageddon.
Well,
They say it's repricing. They're very firm about that,
Oh,
even
great.
now.
Okay, well, let them be calm and then have them call me on the way home like they do every night and tell me, Kramer,
Yeah.
what are you going to do about it? Are you going to help us? Are you going to help us? Are you going to stand on the sideline like everybody else and say that it's fine? Will somebody come on TV and tell the truth about how bad it
But
is?
a lot of people say, these same people say, it's not Ben Bernanke and the rate that matters. The bond market
That's
now
wrong.
is completely
It is the rate.
separate from
It's
the rate.
entirely
The
the
bond
rate.
market is trading
No, it's
separately from the
entirely
rate.
right. We'll spend billions in Iraq to build homes. We are going to have thousands of people. Look, we have thousands of people
Yes.
losing their homes right now. 14 million people took a mortgage in the last 3 years. 7 million of them took teaser rates or took piggyback rates. They will lose their homes. This is crazy.
Yes.
I am sorry to be upset about it, but you have to understand what they're saying to me off the record before I come in here every night and every day, and what I hear from these blowhard managers who act like, call someone for heaven's sake. Go call someone. I worked at fixed income at Goldman Sachs. This is not the time to be complacent.
All right.
I mean,
That's your
darn,
opinion.
sometimes I wish I didn't know anybody so I could just sit here and say, you know what? Just go buy some Washington Mutual and take that yield. Unfortunately, I know too many people and I'm too darn old.
You are 62.
I've just been
Actually,
around for
63.
too long. I mean, look, I got to tell you, he has got to listen to. He's got to call somebody. Bernanke has to call someone.
He is.
He just has to call.
I can't
he
believe
has
he's
to
just sitting there
fed
in his
me.
little gilded office.
No, they're not calling anybody.
Okay.
And Bill Poole,
I know what you
Bill
think of
Poole, listen to me. There was a president by the name of Hoover, okay?
She's so
And
upset.
no one thinks
Yeah.
much of him now, the
Yeah.
great engineer.
And a quick reminder, all the recommendations expressed
That's my
I
favorite
forgot about
part.
that
Oh
part.
yeah.
by Jim Cramer are solely his and are not the opinions of CNBC and may have
my
been
favorite
previously
part.
disseminated by him.
There was a
Before
producer
acting on
back there like, put
recommendation,
that fucking thing
consider
up
its
right now.
suitability for
Right
your
now.
circumstances and consider seeking advice from your own financial advisor.
Oh, shit.
Why do they
Like,
don't say
put
it's
that fucking thing up right now. Cut. I'm surprised they didn't cut away.
Yeah, me too.
He was
Me
there.
too.
He
I
was
am.
probably flirting on the edge of it, and they were like, "You got to steer out of this, dude. Like, you got to steer out of this, or I got to pull you."
There's definitely someone in her ears like, get him to calm the fuck down.
Tame him.
What time of day was
tame
this
him.
broadcast? Was this like
This was
an
in
early
the
morning show or something?
This was in the middle of the day. It was like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was supposed to be like,
I heard that.
yeah.
Was
This was
everybody
during-
on break
Excel.
when he went online? What?
Sell everything I own. Take it.
Jeez. What he said? What is it? 14 million.
shit.
14 of those ridiculous arm loans.
Oh yeah, yeah. He said what, like 14 million people took loans in the last 3 years, and they
Yeah.
either got teaser rates, which have balloon payments, or piggyback rates, which are adjustable, and they got fucked. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, it is.
What do you mean I owe $18,000 tomorrow?
Right.
Right. What do you mean there's a balloon payment on my house that's due like next week? Oh, you're foreclosing on my house. Well, great.
Oh, I'm so glad my place is paid for.
Damn Canadians.
And
Pulling off shit.
and he was right. He was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
He went
yeah,
off.
I'll talk about some information I learned about that after we watch the Jon Stewart clip. So this is also a clip we've seen. This is Jon Stewart on the formerly known Crossfire on CNN with Tucker Carlson and some other guy.
Damn.
This is not fair because this might be my favorite video in this genre.
The indictment is, and I have seen you say this, that Crossfire reduces everything, as I said in the intro, to left, right, black, white.
Yes.
Well, it's because, see, we're a debate show. It's like saying the Weather Channel reduces
that'd be
everything
great.
to a storm
I would love to see a debate
in a
show.
24-hour day where we have each side on as best we can get them.
That would be great.
And have them fight it out.
To do a debate would be great, but that's like saying pro wrestling is a show about athletic
I'm sorry.
competition.
I think you're a good comedian. I think your lectures are boring. Let me ask you a question on the news.
Now, this is theater. I mean, it's obvious. How old are you?
35.
And you wear a bow tie.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So this is.
I know.
So this
You're
is
right.
theater.
Let me just go. No, come on.
And listen, I'm not suggesting that you're not a smart guy, because those are not easy to tie. But the thing is that you're doing theater when you should be doing debate, which would be great.
No, it's
not honest. What you do is not honest. What you do is partisan hackery. And I'll tell you why I know
John Kerry
it.
on your show, and you sniff his throne, and you're accusing us of partisan hackery?
Absolutely.
You've got to be kidding, man.
You're on
CNN.
wait.
We say,
the show.
Mikey, play the clip.
Politicians, well, that's about the only sin I've never committed. I mean, the one thing I've never done is sniff the throne of someone in power. I find that repulsive. I've never done it.
He likes that
Or
phrase.
origin story.
partisan hackery?
Absolutely.
You've got to be kidding, man.
You're on
and you
CNN.
literally say,
The show that leads into me is puppets making crank phone calls. What is wrong with you?
well, I'm just saying, there's no reason for you, when you have this marvelous opportunity not to be the guy's butt boy, to go ahead and be his butt boy.
Yes,
Come on,
no,
it's embarrassing.
I was absolutely his butt boy. I was so far. You would not believe what he ate 2 weeks ago. You know, the interesting thing that I have is you have a responsibility to the public discourse, and you
need to get
fail
a job at a journalism
miserably.
school, I think.
You need to go to one. The thing that I want to say is,
Damn.
when you have people on for just knee-jerk, reactionary talk.
Wait, I thought you were going to be funny. Come on, be funny.
No, I'm not going to be your monkey. Go ahead. I watch your show every day, and it kills me.
I can tell you love it.
It's so painful to watch. You know, because we need what you do. This is such a great opportunity you have here to actually get politicians
really Jon
off
Stewart?
of
What is
their
this
marketing
anyway?
and strategy. Yeah, it's someone who watches your show and cannot take it anymore. I just can't.
What's it like to have dinner with you? It must be excruciating. Do you like lecture people like this, or do you come over to their house and sit and lecture them, and they're not doing the right thing, that they're missing their opportunities, evading their responsibilities?
If I think they are.
Look, I wouldn't want to eat with you, man. That's horrible.
I know, and you won't. But the thing I want to get to
Yeah, we did.
No.
Let's get to those.
why can't we just talk? Please, I beg of you guys.
I think you watch too much Crossfire. We're going to take a quick break.
No. Look,
No, hold on.
please.
We've got commercials. Hold on.
Please.
Next,
Please
Jon Stewart
stop.
in the rapid fire.
Please
Hopefully
stop.
he'll be here. We hope. We think. And then, did U.S. soldiers refuse an order in Iraq? Wolf Blitzer has the latest on this investigation right after the break.
Ugh. These microphones are shit.
Yeah, they're so bad.
Hi,
It's Wolf Blitzer.
I'm Wolf Blitzer in Washington, coming up at the top of the hour.
Can we skip Wolf Blitzer?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
All right. I mean, it's Wolf Blitzer, so
Let's see what's happening this day.
Pentagon investigates a report that U.S. soldiers refused to go on a dangerous
This is part of the show.
mission in Iraq. We'll have details. In medical news, the FDA prescribes a strongly worded label on antidepressant drugs.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah, oh man.
And why some
Zannies
experts
are
think
running
the flu
wild.
vaccine shortage is a grim warning about U.S. vulnerability to
Oh man,
bioterrorism.
what year was this?
Oh
what
my
year was this?
God.
Oh my God. Hold on.
All
I
those
got
stories much more only minutes away on Wolf
18
Blitzer
years
Reports.
ago.
18
Now
years
back
ago.
to Crossfire.
FDA news.
John, you're bumming us out. Tell us, what do you think of the Bill O'Reilly vibrator story?
No. I'm sorry? I don't.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
Let me change the subject then.
Where's your moral outrage on this?
I don't have any.
I know.
Which candidate is supposed to provide you better material?
He fake smiled him so good.
Yeah.
He's like, where's your
I'm
moral
sorry.
outrage on
I
this? I
don't.
don't have one. I know.
What do you think?
Let me change the subject then.
Where's your moral outrage on this?
I don't have any.
I know.
Which candidate is supposed to provide you better material?
I'm sorry?
Which candidate do you suppose would provide you better material if he won?
Mr. T. I think he'd be the funniest.
How would you have a stake in it that way, as not just a citizen, but as a professional comic?
Right. Which I hold to be much more important than as a citizen.
Well, there you go. Well, who would provide you better material, do you suppose?
I don't really know. It's kind of not how we look at it. We look at the absurdity of the system provides us the most material, and that is best served by sort of the theater of it all, you know, which, by the way, thank you both, because it's been helpful.
But if Kerry gets elected, is it good? I mean, you said you're voting for him. You obviously support him.
I forgot about Kerry.
John Kerry, boy. That's a blast from the past.
Surprised he didn't say Nader or some shit.
Yeah, right?
Clear. Will it be harder for you to mock his administration if he becomes president?
Now, why would it be harder?
Because
the only way it would be harder is if his administration is less absurd than this one. So in that case, if it's less absurd, then yeah, I think it'd be harder. But
so did 95% of the electorate.
I mean, quite frankly, in terms of absurdity and their world matching up to the one that, you know, it was interesting. President Bush was saying, you know, John Kerry, his rhetoric doesn't match his record. But I've heard President Bush describe his record. His record doesn't match his record. So, you know, I don't worry about it in that respect. But let me ask you guys again a question, because we talked a little bit about, you know, you're actually doing honest debate. And
They're
all
so
that.
stupid.
But
Don't let him do this.
Debates, where do you guys head to right afterwards?
The men's room.
Right after that.
Right, home.
Spin Alley.
Home?
No, Spin Alley.
What are you talking about? I mean, at these debates?
Yeah, you go to Spin Alley, the place called Spin Alley. Now, don't you think that for people watching at home, that's kind of a drag, that you're literally walking to a place called Deception Lane? Like, it's Spin Alley. It's don't you see, that's the issue I'm trying to talk to you guys.
I actually believe, I had a lot of friends who worked for President Bush. I went to college with
Neither
some
of us was ever in the spin room, actually.
No, I did. I went to the Larry King show. They actually believe what they're
What the
saying. They
hell?
want to persuade you. That's what they're trying to do by spinning. But
he
I
was
don't
on a
doubt for a
timer,
minute these
it ended.
people who work for
All
President
right.
Bush, who I disagree with and everything, they believe that stuff, John. This is not
Who would ever use a fucking annoying ass soundboard?
Here's
a
what
lie
I think.
or deception at
I
all.
think
They
they
believe
believe.
in him.
I think they believe.
Just like I believe in my guys.
I think they believe President Bush would do a better job, and I believe the Kerry guys believe President Kerry would do a better job. But what I believe is they're not making honest arguments. So what they're doing is, in their mind, the ends justify
John,
the means.
I hate to
So-
cut you
at all.
off. I do think you're more fun on your show. Just my opinion.
But
Okay,
just-
Zach, John Stewart goes
You know what's
one-on-one with his
interesting, though?
fans.
You're as big a dick on your
Answer the
show as you are on any show.
Adam.
Now you're getting into it. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Eastern.
I'm a dick. Boy, that is an origin story, right? That is like Tucker Carlson's fucking origin story. This
See,
show right here.
This is why you don't bully people, because even if it feels good, you just turn them into villains.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Crossfire. We are joined by Comedy Central's Jon Stewart, host of The Daily Show, and author of #1 bestseller, America the Book, A Citizen's Guide. to
America the Book.
Action. Some questions from our audience. Yes, sir, what's your name?
I have it.
My name's David. I'm from Boston.
Hi, David.
My question is, what do you think the hump on GW's back during the debate was?
Say it again.
What do you think the hump on George's back during the debate was?
The hump on his back?
Oh, you're not familiar? This is a conspiracy theory. Can I take this one?
Yeah, please.
It was nothing. His suit was puckering. A lot of people believe he had one of these in his ear. If he was being fed lines by Karl Rove, he would not have been so inarticulate, guys. It's a myth. It's not true. There's this huge myth out on the left about this.
Mr. Jon Stewart.
Yes, ma'am.
Renee from Texas. Why do you think it's hard or difficult or impossible for politicians to answer a straight, simple question?
I don't think it's hard. I just think that nobody holds their feet to the fire to do it, so they don't have to. They get to come on, shows that don't. That are too easy on them?
Yeah.
Not
Ask
easy.
them how you holding up and
Began
stuff
by
like
saying
that.
we were too hard on people and too difficult or contentious. And
I think you're, yeah.
All right, Jon Stewart, come back soon.
Jon Stewart, good of you to join us.
Wow,
Thank you very much. The book is America, A
really
Citizen's
didn't
Guide to
wanna say what
Democracy
he
in
really
Action.
thought.
From the left, I am Paul Begala. That's it for
And from the right, I'm Tucker Carlson. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.
That went great.
Who was that was saying that at the end? That went great.
Tucker.
Was it?
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, he's a moron.
He's a big dumb guy.
So Jon Stewart created the evil version of Tucker Carlson, is what
He
we're
broke
what
him.
we're getting from this.
He might have.
He
So
broke
current
He
Tucker
pushed him
Carlson.
towards the throne.
him. And he just couldn't stop sniffing. There we go. Wait, wrong one.
Mhm. Yeah, you got the
Wrong
wrong
one.
guy up
I was
there.
about to say that. Nope, still wrong.
Wait. Oh, there it is.
There we
you go.
There we go.
Almost.
There we go. All right. So,
Yay.
all right. So,
Ba-ba-ba-bomb.
obviously, when we watched these videos originally, Jon Stewart scored a higher score.
Yep.
It's true.
Now, we all chuckled at Jon Stewart. We all had a good time at him mocking Tucker Carlson and the other guy who we can't remember.
Am I really
However-
informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you.
I want you all to take into consideration
Yes.
the absolute dead silence from us during Jim Cramer trying to warn America that shit
Yeah.
is coming. For, I probably counted a good 2 minutes where we didn't say anything because
A lot
the
of this.
tension he created was very much real. So that is my debate, is that we like Jon Stewart and he's funny, but Jim Cramer brought it.
I don't
Brought
want
the passion.
I don't want to talk ill of the King of the North, Jon Snow. But he did have a couple of real potato sacks to kick around, you know what I mean? It's not like he had that was easy for him.
Oh yeah.
That was
It was a target-rich environment.
I mean, he was just, you know what I mean?
Make ready.
Now, on the other side, he did end that show. He
Yes.
did take it down.
Ended that horrible show.
When did it end? Much quickly after this?
Yeah.
A couple of months after, the show was just like done.
Yeah.
Because Carlson and the other guy lost all credibility. Carlson was gone from the network after that. He went to MSNBC for about a year, and then he went to Fox News.
Yep.
So Jon Stewart altered the trajectory of how CNN covered news and Tucker Carlson's career.
Yes. With this
Did
interview.
it cause more harm than good?
I don't know. If he was still on CNN, he might not have run into Elon.
Maybe. I mean, if Tucker never got fired from CNN, he'd probably be some bland news anchor. Like,
He was still poisoned then. He still would have got worse.
he could have still made his way to Fox News. It probably would have been a slower transition.
Well, what's his face? It was about to get in trouble. Rush Limbaugh was about to get in trouble, and everybody was going to make that shift up one rung on the ladder. So they probably would have sought him out anyway.
That's true. And
but Jim Cramer, I think I said it in the original video. This was Jim Cramer's Paul Revere moment.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah.
He was all right. Here's the thing I was going to say before about the Jim Cramer video. So I think 10 years after this video, he did like what really happened behind the scenes. And when he was talking about like everyone's calling him every night and every day, it was all the managers of all these firms and all these these stockbrokers who are like, Jim, what's going to happen with like Bear Stearns and these other investment companies, because we see all the shorts on all the mortgages happening,
Right.
and this doesn't look good for anyone. Like, these banks don't have any financial backing to do any of this. Like, they're so exposed. And he was upset before he came on that set. he was livid before he came on that set, and he simply couldn't contain it because he had so much pressure from other people to say the things that he had to say. And the reason he went off was because, well, like Mikey said, it was his Paul Revere moment. He was trying to warn the country that, like, shit is going to happen, and it's all been happening behind the scenes, but now someone's got to say it.
Like, like the cards at the bottom of the House of Cards have already fallen, and you guys just don't know about it up here yet.
Yeah.
I think it was the movie Big Short that Steve Carell did on the market crash with the mortgage rates. There's this, like, just to go to your comment, that like banks could not cover anything. He went and talked to one firm in that movie, and I'm pretty sure this was all real. And he's like, "What's your exposure? How much money do you have in the mortgage fall here?" He's like, "I'm guessing you have $1 to $2 billion invested in it," and they had like 6.5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, as much as like it would have screwed us harder, I still believe we should have let all those firms and banks fail and let new, better shit come in its place. We just bailed them out for another day. But anyway,
so, like,
that's off topic.
And not that Jim Cramer's never wrong about stuff. Jim Cramer's wrong about stuff all the fucking time. Like, sometimes Jim Cramer, like, presently in the modern day, Jim Cramer can be kind of a train wreck.
Yes.
And actually, Jim Cramer and Jon Stewart have clashed a few times over the things that Jim Cramer says on his show. And I couldn't use those clips because they're all in the Daily Show.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. But this was his moment to, like, warn us all that, like, shit is going to go down. And he was right, because a couple weeks later, Bear Stearns collapsed. And then the banks were like, we don't have any money.
Help us, government.
And then we had both an economic collapse and a housing crisis. So he was sort of the last line of defense. He was the Spartan. He was the Spartan they sent back to warn us all that the Persians were coming.
The Persians are coming. The Persians are coming.
So, who wants to take a crack at a vote?
I'm gonna go Kramer.
Oh wow.
Because I mean, I'm not 100% like, I didn't watch every episode of Jon Stewart. You know what I mean? I'm not a fanboy, so I can kind of look at this a little bit more objective. I'm going for the historical pick again because this was very influential, especially for my life and the housing market in my area. So that resonates more with my, what's it called? When you're nostalgia. It's more nostalgic for me. The crisis, the banking crisis is more nostalgic for me than Jon Stewart in this form, because I didn't have cable. So I never watched any of his shit. And I was just like, cool, Mr. What is it? John Kilborn? What is his name? Oh, Stewart. Right. Like, I just, so I like him now, but I wasn't into him at this time. So I think he's got better work.
Before we get other votes, there's an Irish Swede in the chat who says he knows a few things about this subject.
I know.
Yeah.
You should check his Facebook.
I'm also going to vote for Jim Cramer here. I do love Jon Stewart. He's one of my comedy icons. He's part of why I started to do stand-up, because he is so consistently funny and topical, and I don't honestly know how he does it all the time.
Team of
it's
writers.
A gift.
It's a team of freaking writers.
Yeah, but even when it's just him, like that wasn't a team of writers giving him stuff. That was just him. But when I would say reacting to the first time I saw either of these videos, I thought Jon Stewart destroying Tucker Carlson and ruining Crossfire was hilarious, because Crossfire was a joke of a show.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, when I saw Jim Cramer do this live, like the day it happened, I don't even know why I was watching CNBC. I just happened to flip across the channels, and I saw his little. It's like a end of the market day recap that he does, and I saw it, and he was losing his goddamn mind, and I was like, oh, shit's gonna go down. Oh man, this is not good. I've never seen someone yell at someone else on TV like that, like live news TV. And I was in college. I was in community college at the time, and I was like, fuck. Are we fucked? Am I fucked? Like,
yes.
That's sort of where I'm coming at it, is in like the original viewing of either of these videos. I think the Jim Cramer one, like Mikey said, is more impactful for me for that time in my life, because I was like, oh shit, I'm never gonna own a house.
Right.
Where are you right now, Tim?
I'm in a house. I do own a house, but I will admit that it's not my fault that I own a house.
Huh?
I don't make that much money. If it was just me, I wouldn't be able to afford a house.
So you
Gold
married
digging,
good,
Tim?
you're saying?
Yes.
Way to go, Tim's wife.
Yes, my wife, who is an accountant, she has a real job and she affords real things.
Ah.
That's because she's a Johnny's grad, right?
Yeah.
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 There we go.
She went to one of them private schools in New York.
Ooh.
And she's super smart and does all
Jamaica,
this
New York.
in Jamaica, New York. And she's super smart, and I make her dinner every night.
Like a good boy.
I'm a good boy. My political science degree is worth nothing. My 2 political science degrees are worth nothing.
We have a guest.
Oh, we have an Irish
guest.
Swede. So,
Sha-na-na-na.
Swede, you said in the chat you may know a few things about this particular topic, about the market crash and maybe what Jim Cramer was yelling about here.
I didn't get to see what Jim Cramer was yelling about. I was too busy watching Creighton take down Kansas.
Suck it, Kansas.
Well, he was yelling about the collapse of Bear Stearns.
Yeah.
And the impending housing crisis that was going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and that the banks were over leveraged.
Yeah.
And that no one was going to say anything about it, and that the Fed should cut the rates
Hey,
to
Tim.
relieve the pressure on the markets. Yeah.
Let's roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
Said, which seems to me from the way you just explained
window.
yourself.
Cut the rate. Open the discount window.
Okay,
Cut the
but
rate.
if he comes
Relieve
out
the
next
pressure.
week and cuts rates,
Relieve the pressure.
you're going to have, that's going to cause Armageddon.
No, we have Armageddon. I wouldn't try to cause it. We have Armageddon. In the fixed income markets, we have Armageddon.
No, but that's not what
We
they
have
say.
Armageddon.
They say, even when I've talked to a couple
If they
bank CEOs,
cut
they
the
don't say
rate-
it's Armageddon.
Well,
They say it's repricing. They're very firm about that
Oh,
even
great.
now.
Okay, well, let them be calm and then have them call me on the way home like they do every night and tell me, Cramer, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to help us? Are you going to help us? Are you going to stand on the sideline like everybody else and say that it's fine? Will somebody come on TV and tell the truth about how bad it
But
is?
a lot of people say, these same people say, it's not Ben Bernanke and the rate that matters. The bond market
That's
now
wrong.
is completely
It is the rate.
separate from
It's
the
entirely
The
the
bond
rate.
market is trading
No, it's
separately from
entirely.
True or false? It is the rate.
Mostly false.
Okay. So, why?
Partially. I would say like everything, this is way more complicated than just this. So, bond pricing is like a seesaw. As rates go up, bond prices go down. Rates go down, bond prices go up. And the reason is let's say you own a bond at $100 that pays 5%. So every year you're going to get $5. They lower rates to 4%. Your bond is now worth $101, your 1-year bond, because your yield to maturity will match what the current rate is. So when the Fed was raising rates, what mortgage rates are based off are actually the 10-year Treasury. And so that pushes the risk yield curve out, and so you get higher rates on the 10-year. An immediate cut on the overnight rate, which is what the Fed can do, would have to trickle through, and this is one area where the trickling through actually works, to lowering the 10-year. But the 10-year had spiked so much that the assets on the books of the banks had devalued, because why would you buy a 5% bond when you could buy a 7% bond? So to buy the 7% bond equivalent, you have to buy a 5% bond for less than the $100 par value. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
So
it wasn't a good.
So if it's a 1-year bond, I'm just going to use real simple terms. 1-year bond at 7% versus a 1-year bond at 5%. You're going to buy the 1-year 7 or 5% bond at 98 instead of 100 to equal the 7% you could go get somewhere else.
Sure.
That makes
right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So when bond prices go up, the par value goes down. Par value is what the market value is.
Okay. So, secondary question. Jim Cramer said that part of the reason, elsewhere in the video, he said part of the reason why there was going to be a market collapse is the housing bubble was about to burst. And there were people who took teaser rates and piggyback rates, and that was all going to fuck them over in the next year or so.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How much of that would be fixed by the Fed lowering interest rates? I guess is the question, because he sees
almost none on the teaser rates, because the teaser rates were going to reset at a higher rate regardless.
Right.
You get these introductory. Mortgages don't work this way anymore, so you almost never see this stuff anymore. But sometimes you can see like a 3-year rate lock with a reset, whatever the reset is.
Right.
However, the 3-year fixed is at today's rates that you find today. You don't find this 1% teaser rate with a massive reset after year 3. That was going to kill the market anyway, unless you could refinance. Well, the problem with refinancing is you have to, have income.
Right.
For the most part, Ninja loans were not to do continually Ninja loan things. Ninja stands for no income, no justifiable assets. To do that, you continually had to take worse and worse deals, and you had to have continually increasing market value. Rates were already at 0% when this was just being, floored as far as valuations were concerned. Floored meaning nobody knew why prices were the way they were. So when they started raising rates, that really kicked the teeth in on the ability for the market to continually have transactions to reprice to in a way that would be increasing property values. That was just going to end on increasing rates. However, you were never the teaser rate stuff. Even if it was a lot slower of an increase, you were still going to have people that had floating rate mortgages that were just going to run out of time. It just wasn't going to work, because at the time you could get mortgages for 107% of your market value.
Yeah,
so you literally could walk away from closing with of $100,000 house with $7,000 in your pocket.
Yeah. And then after the crash, and they decided to regulate some of that.
After Dodd-Frank, basically, and the banks all looked at each other and said, "Yeah, this was kind of dumb." And now, if you're not going to have an FHA, you can still get it with 3% down, below jumbo. you can still do quite a few things. However, you're never going to get a conforming mortgage without 20% equity.
Yeah, that's true.
And FHA, you've got PMI that you're paying for and everything else. So, when we refinanced, we took out 50 grand and kept our mortgage payment the same because that's how much PMI was costing us.
And PMI is
Private mortgage insurance.
Yeah.
Meaning if you default, that pays off they take your house, but it also pays off your balance.
And we did that too. We took a federal loan for our mortgage, and then an assistance loan for closing, and we'd have PMI. And I think we just got rid of it like this year. Like it took 6 years for us to get, and we didn't refinance. We just sort of like paid it off.
Mm-hmm. Some banks, so if it's an FHA, you have to refinance to get it off.
Yeah, that's what
if it's a conforming, so an 80-20 with a 20 HELOC, home equity line of credit, which would have been your closing assistance loan, then it falls off as soon as your house has 20% equity to it.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened is we reached 20% equity, and they're like, okay, you don't have to have this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we refinanced because we had FHA, because we had to, but we took out a whole bunch of extra money because we could. We bought our house in 2016, and we refied in 2021, I believe. And we went from 190 appraisal to 300 in the course of 5 years. That's absolutely stupid.
So to get us back on track, how much of Jim Cramer's rant here was like warranted? Like, is he right? Was he right to panic?
He was right to panic. He was right to panic. He is a little bit correct in that the Fed got overzealous with their bumps. The Fed bumping probably bumped a little too hard. This was a scenario that caused a forest fire in a forest that hadn't had a fire in probably 1,000 years.
Right.
That's kind of my analogy of forests are supposed to have a little bit of a fire every once in a while to clear out the underbrush.
Damn.
This is one where, like in California, the reason California has troubles with wildfires is because they don't clean the brush out, and they don't allow fires to actually happen. They don't control them and do it the way that nature actually intends things to do. And just like every economy, whether it's socialist, market socialist or not, needs some sort of correcting mechanism to weed out the unproductive sectors that don't need to be there anymore. There was a recession in horseshoe making when the automobile came around.
Right.
A lot of people lost a lot of jobs. You're never going to get around that. However, when you push an economy into specific directions a little too quickly, you run into a situation where you have a lot of underbrush. It's all dry. It hasn't rained in 3 years, and lightning just hit.
And AI will be the next one.
So
so here's the thing though. When you look at some of the different examples of how the economy has handled sector recessions, the horseshoe one didn't hurt a lot of people because you had people who had transferable skills. You had people who were metal workers who could get on an assembly line and do sheet metal work. There was a transferable, granted they had to learn a little bit of a new skill, transfer that and build upon it. But there's a lot of tech people that are going to be able to transfer their skills. There's going to be a lot of things that will work better. And, I'm not scared of the innovation until Skynet, Because so, and there's two ways to think about growth. There's always the growth that people generally think about, the layman thinks about when they think about growth. You're consuming more and more and more, and because you need higher levels of output to consume more, so your inputs have to go up. That's not necessarily true. You can have a falling input level and an increasing output level, and you can do that through force multipliers. Force multiplier being AI, being or large language models, or whatever you want to call them. That's what those are.
So let's get back to our voting here. Mark and Ollie.
AOC.
No, those were not the two answers. It's Jon Stewart or Jim Cramer.
Yeah.
I already know Ollie's vote.
Yeah, I voted before I even watched the video, pretty much.
So Mark, is
God damn it!
Is
Why am
Sweet
I
gonna
always
have
the
the
last?
tiebreak?
Special tiebreak.
I'll give it to Jim Cramer.
All right.
There you go.
If I'm judging person to person on all their content, Jon Stewart wins.
Well, yeah.
But like comparing these two clips, Cramer wins.
And I don't think we've seen the last of Jon Stewart on this show. I think that's fairly safe to
He's
say.
already number one for next year. Like it's not even a it's not even a thing. So
just for fun's sake, Sweet, have you seen Jon Stewart take down Tucker Carlson on Crossfire?
Oh yeah, that was one of the greatest episodes ever, because they thought he was going to be a comedian on the show, and he went, no.
He just awkwardly stared at them. He says, "Oh, this is theater. You're 35 with a bow tie on."
So rating clips on just which one you think is better. Do you think Jim Cramer's clip is better or Jon Stewart?
Kramer's is more matter of fact to this situation at hand.
Yeah.
Because I remember this, and I remember because this was also right around the time that like Allen Stanford Group, collapsed. Right. DBSI, Meridian, a whole bunch of Ponzi schemes, started to implode all at the same time. And you have and then you have the housing crisis starting, happening all at this. And yeah, there were a lot of us in this industry who were like, we'll never work here again.
We got to eat our shirts.
Well, and that's what he says at the end. He was like, "Oh, I know people at like these big financial companies that are just going to lose their jobs because they're all going out of business because the market is collapsing."
And 99.99% of those people had nothing to do with the decision making around the amount of risk, leverage, everything else that was going on at the time. A lot of them doing record keeping, accounting, innocuous tasks. Had no idea where things were at.
Yeah, they were doing the work of it.
We usually rate things on like vibes. So which one had the better vibes for you?
Kramer, definitely.
He's cantankerous like me.
I gotta say, I gotta just defend my man Jon Stewart there a little bit. Like Kramer was just like a meltdown. That's what that was. We saw a meltdown on film.
But it was honest.
Freaking out. He might have been being honest, but it was a meltdown. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. He lost his shit. Where with Jon Stewart, you have him surgically taking Tucker Carlson apart. Surgically. It's like, no. You thought I was going to be here for this? No. I'm here to destroy you, bitch. And he did such an excellent, like, all we got is one guy going, ah! And then you got the other guy going, I'm going to play a fucking symphony on your face because you're an asshole. So Jon Stewart, hands down, wins this. I don't understand why there's even a question.
Because of the context of the timing. It's literally the context of the timing.
Ollie, you're not American, so like, I mean, you guys had your struggles too, but
it doesn't matter because this was worldwide.
Yeah.
This was everywhere.
I felt like it happened to us first, and it hurt the most because.
Well, it was a great depression wave. It happened here
What
first.
happened in the video? Right? You guys are being. I understand that the situation that they're talking about is different. Yeah, one's just taking out Tucker Carlson. The other one's talking about the collapse of the Dow and everything that was going on there. I understand that they're two totally different situations, but when you look at the content of these two videos, which is what we're supposed to be judging it on, we're not supposed to be judging it on what happened at the time in history. We're supposed to be looking at the content, to the way the videos are presented.
If I can't judge based on context, then
you got one guy that's just going, I'm going to blow up. I'm going to be rude. I'm going to be insulting, which, yeah, we loved it. We cheered him on for doing it. But then you got another guy
who's doing the same thing but not yelling. And that guy's better because you like his other content. You're not being objective either. You're being just as biased.
I don't think so.
You are a huge Jon Stewart fan, and
I'm not that big a Jon Stewart fan. What do you mean?
You said this is your favorite video.
This is in this genre. When we talk about all the videos that we've reviewed for the last year, this was my favorite video. Yes.
All right. I'm not wrong.
I hate Kramer. I literally hate Kramer. Everything about him, everything that he says, does, and promotes.
And if we could show the Jon Stewart, Jim Cramer Daily Show stuff, it would be Jon Stewart destroying Jim Cramer for
dude, season
and
2.
I haven't seen any of that stuff.
Season 2. When we launch season 2 in January, we are definitely that's first week. I want to see that one. That one's getting because then we can
Daily
settle.
Show. It's content strike.
Ah,
Get
hit
for it.
You know what we can do? Maybe we can record that one and then put it out. Because if we stream it, we'll get in trouble. But if we do the thing, if we don't do it live, then they might let us get away with it.
All right.
Let's just do the editing thing where like you make the screen bigger and larger, and then you change the speed so the algorithm can't track it.
So final votes. Our votes are final here.
Yeah.
AOC. Yep.
Okay. So in 2 weeks, the finals for the top person for this year is going to be Kramer versus AOC. And next week, for those who are keeping score, the leaderboard for the worst.
Oh, I'm sick that day.
The absolute pits.
I have a cold.
Is Trump even on that list?
No.
Thank God. Thank God.
Although it devices though, right?
Yeah, Vance is on.
Yeah, Vance is on there.
Oh yeah, with his fucking
worst
egg video.
We have to give an honorable mention to the number 2, which is Bruce, which we don't have another video of, and we're not gonna use. So our 4 for the bottom for the worst is gonna be Katie
Progress
Britt.
only says damn.
Yeah. Katie Britt, the Queen of Canada.
Oh shit.
Elon Musk.
Oh shit.
And JD Vance.
Oh shit.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I think I do have a cold. I feel the sniffles coming. I think the pneumonia has gotten me.
So next week we'll review a video from each of them, and then the last 2 remaining will go on to 2 weeks from now, when we'll do the top of the best and the top of the worst.
And then a best versus the worst.
I hope you give the greatest AOC video of all time.
I'm gonna look for it.
The greatest ever is when she berates and gives an economics lesson in Congress about the commodification of healthcare.
Okay, I'm gonna write that one down.
Because she takes out her cell phone. She goes, "This is a commodity. Your life isn't."
That's a good suggestion.
The final boss AOC.
Final boss AOC.
She graduated summa cum laude from Boston University with an economics degree. She knows her shit.
Where are we going to find another Jim Cramer video that'll even stand up, though?
That is a good question. I'm going to have to search long and hard for that. He's got other rants, I'm sure. They're not going to be as good as that.
Yeah.
You never know. That
Jon
is
Stewart
that might
versus
be his
AOC.
weakness.
That'd be a fight. Like, you guys picked the wrong one.
Sorry, Ollie, you lost the votes. I'm sorry.
So thanks for Irish Swede for coming on and giving us an economics lesson on the
That's a finance lesson.
finance lesson. And we'll see y'all next week for the continuation of our tournament.
Goodbye forever.